So John Jones has injured himself for his bout with Stipe Miocic, and although John has beat Cyril Gane fair and square and doubted a lot of the haters wrong, that was actually a very favorable fight for John Jones, just because Cyril Gane has like basically no wrestling in the UFC, and then he was gonna go for Stipe, who does have wrestling, right? And although I've watched the videos that say that Stipe is more of a nightmare matchup for John Jones, which I would kind of agree with, that he's got more attributes. Would they go into practice against a fighter of John Jones' caliber? I just feel like if that will be the close of the GOAT conversation for John Jones, it just would feel very disingenuous. I'm not saying this because I want to see John Jones lose, because if he wins, he wins. If he's the greatest fighter, he's the greatest fighter to ever do it, right? But when you're just going to go out on a Stipe win and call yourself the GOAT when there is a barrage of killers for the heavyweight title, right? That are coming up. Sergey Pavlovich and Tom Aspinall are two of the biggest ones that everyone says John Jones needs to fight, right? And they're making an interim title so that way they can go to heavyweight or stay at heavyweight and go for the title run against John Jones in the future. So now that Stipe is basically out of the picture, right? And this is going to be a very telling moment that we all get to see the truth if we want to see it. Now I know there's probably going to be some copers who are going to say, "Oh well, John chose to fight Stipe first, so what if they just cancel that interim title?" Because it has happened before. And it would be like you need a reason to close out that interim title. Like Tony Ferguson, when he got injured, it was the perfect excuse. They vacated Colby Covington's because he was having a nasal surgery, right? Um, and then this one could go just as bad because they probably don't even need a reason. I mean, they're getting rid of USADA for a new organization for drug testing, which might have more shady business dealings than USADA themselves. Even though USADA is pretty good, but I think USADA is the best we're ever going to get. I could be wrong about that. But let's say Jones comes back and he fights the winner of that fight. Now, I predict between Tom Aspinall and Sergey Pavlovich, Sergey is the one who wins. That guy is an absolute nightmare and tears. He knocked out Curtis Blades in what was like the first or second round, dude. That is some very high level stuff. And I think Sergey is probably one of the biggest threats the UFC has had in the heavyweight division since Fedor Emelianenko, right? And we don't got Fedor. We got Sergey, and he's the biggest threat. I think he's going to beat Tom Aspinall. He's going to do it very decisively, too. Because if you could dispatch Curtis Blades like that, and Tom Aspinall, if he beats Sergey, he's going to earn that title shot without a doubt. But whoever wins this fight is definitely going to be the top most deadly heavyweight to ever have it go for them, right? And that's who John Jones is going to need to face. So if John Jones beats the winner of this fight, then yes, he is without a doubt the GOAT in the conversation. Now, an 8-month period like they're predicting can mean that plenty of time to switch away from USADA rules and get back on whatever picograms he's on. My gut just tells me that's going to happen. I might be wrong, but my gut is telling me that is where this fight is going to go because you got that 8-month period to do steroids. If there's any alleged shading business dealings, I'm not saying I know what's going on behind closed doors. Disclaimer. But other than that, this would definitely be the fight to make that John Jones can stamp his legacy. The only doubt would be steroids after that. But that's what I got to say about this. Peace out.